right. Hey, hey. All right. So Libras, excuse me, Virgos. I'm going to do Libra right after this, but Virgos, let's get you guys a little bonus right now. Happy Saturday. We have a Five of Cups. Five of Cups can be sorrow. Five of Cups can be disappointment. It can be Eight of Swords. Okay, somebody is stuck. They're stuck on a sorrow. They're stuck on maybe they didn't choose the right partner. Um, Prince of Wands, Nine of Cups. Okay, so if somebody felt like they were oh so sought after, oh so gorgeous, everybody wanted them. It was always about them being, you know, able to swagger around and get people to fall at their feet. And it was very much like a fun game, like dating and love and all that was just a fun game. They are doing some heavy reflection. There was a lot of like self-indulgence with the Nine of Cups. There was a lot of lighthearted, superficial dating, flirtation, pretending to be somebody that they weren't. Look, so far we just have somebody as a knight and a Knight of Wands at that. So somebody with no staying power. But I'm thinking that it is their ability to now reflect because they've taken off the mask, right? And they're realizing what that behavior cost them. If they treated everybody and everything in their path like a game to play, everything was their playground, love was a playground. I think this is somebody who blew it with a really important individual. I'm guessing they blew it with Virgo because Virgo's nowhere to be found here, until we get here. We didn't have any earth energy until just now. This individual who played all these games could have been a water sign, could have been a fire sign, could have been an air sign, a little stronger on water energy. But water energy, just because we have two water cards, but that Prince of Wands would just say, we may have been dealing with a player. They loved the game of love, and maybe that's how they looked at it. And they perhaps blew it with a Virgo that was incredible. That Nine of Sacred Circles, this is somebody who's solid, who's profound, who's real, who has strong convictions. They follow their inner North Star. The way they live their life is a reflection of who they actually are. The way they live their life is a reflection of what they believe in the universe. So we have everything, their inner self, their immediate interactions, and then their connection to the universe. It's all in harmony. And if this is who they blew it with, somebody who was, a Virgo of great personal value, first off, this Virgo has saged their energy space and kind of, gotten rid of this person's leftover energy. I'm going to say this, if Virgo had like an intimate connection with this person also, Virgo has like cleansed their physical being, their spiritual being, their emotional being from even the memory of, this particular, like I don't even remember what it felt like to hold their hand. I don't long for the comfort of, their hand in mine. It could be like, it's all been washed clean at this point. And I'm wondering if Virgo had to like, especially because I keep seeing like the three stars, if Virgo had to clear like their spiritual, their physical, and their emotional self of this and come back to full center, Virgo's done it. Something is biting my shoulder. This individual is just now realizing, and Virgo was a king or a queen, by the way. I don't know if Virgo likes robes or something like, whatever, beautiful like dressing gowns, kimonos or something, or fuzzy, cozy, wintertime snuggly robes or something. But this is, a king's crown. Whoever this person was, they messed around and lost Virgo. But I think it's because they were never trying to hold on to Virgo. They were just here for a good time, not a long time. They needed tons and tons of attention. They are currently with somebody else, but guess what? They're looking right past that somebody else and they're looking back at Virgo. Virgo turned away from them, and it could have been painful at the time. When Virgo realized this person, nothing that they said meant anything. It was all just games. It was all just, let's play, let's play, let's play. Virgo could have been kind of stunned by that, kind of hurt by that, but Virgo's well over it at this point. And Fool card, I really feel like this is very timely. Like our Virgo has completely taken a leap in a new direction. This is somebody sitting here and they've pulled the card of themselves. This identical imagery, the Fool, her sitting here in her pink sweater at the table of cards, that's what's on the card that she's pulled. So we have a Virgo who's like sitting on their throne right now, totally content, totally like on a new timeline, a new path. This Virgo has officially like built a new bridge to take them across a river where this person cannot follow. This person is in the same old rut. They're still a Prince of Wands. I'm feeling like this person is an aging player. I'm feeling like they pretend to be, okay, I'm sorry, I have got to figure out what the heck is making my little shoulder itch. This person maybe dressed up like a, I was going to say dressed up like a king or, something, or a queen, and they fooled Virgo. Yeah, they came across as literally a king of wands. They came across as like very, very, if they were like masculine, they may have come across as like very powerful, classical, divine masculine. And it was all just an act. It was like, somebody performing. They wore the costume, but they weren't the person. But that could have been deeply confusing at one point in time for Virgo, but Virgo has totally gone beyond it now. And I'm wondering if they're realizing that role that I pretended to play, that's now who I wish I was. I wish I had not been a Prince of Wands. I wish I was a King of Wands. I wish I was the role I was pretending to be. I really think this person was like cosplaying as a king. Can we go back over to Virgo? Virgo's like on a whole different tower. Virgo, I don't know if Virgo remembers this person anymore. There is some kind of like, there was a powerful belief system. Virgo might have held space for this person for quite a while, but was simultaneously like cleansing this memory and cleansing their energy. Because I'm wondering if, look, because this was a 9 of sacred circles, Virgo, this might have been a turning point in Virgo's life. This particular person who was cosplaying as somebody that was, real and discovering that they were literally only cosplaying, that kind of thing can like, really do two things. I think it can either like shatter us because it's like, wow, that wasn't even reality. That person was a freaking lunatic. If they're pretending, what a grown-up plays dress up. Like, that's not, do people really do that? So we could look at it that way. Or Virgo might have said, oh, wow, that like was kind of embarrassing for them, kind of laughable for them that they were playing dress up. I'm not shattered by it. If anything, I realize I am so not at that level with them. I am so very different. I am so glad that I'm so grounded, and maybe it still kind of was a head trip, but I'm really glad I'm me. I've never had to cosplay being an adult or cosplay being someone. I know who I am, but it definitely like broke Virgo's like mindset and freed their mindset to see the world through a different lens, to see themselves through a different lens. And I think to realize I'm so much more confident than what I realized, because I don't cosplay as anything. I really am who I am. I'm thinking that this became, instead of like a heartbreak for Virgo, it became like, I didn't realize I'm better off than I thought. I'm a more confident person than I realized I was, because I've just been able to compare myself to somebody that was faking being an adult, faking being a king. But I'm so glad I don't have to fake anything. I realize now I'm kind of operating at a higher frequency because I'm real. I kind of think that's how Virgo took this. Okay, then universe, can we see what is the message kind of in between this thought process that Virgo has? 5 of Wands. So this is kind of like the bridge card that sits between them. Both of these characters, it has left an impact on both of them. For Virgo, we can see that Virgo's like more bold, more content, more excited about their future than ever, feeling better and more confident than they ever have. For them, we can see that they are genuinely starting to wish that they had been a king that, I mean, I think at one point they thought it was fun to pretend to be a king. I don't think that they knew that that was embarrassing. Now they're in some, again, probably a semi superficial connection with somebody, but all they can think about is Virgo. So there's a lot of thoughts going on, a lot of, churning an idea around and around and around. Like, this experience has transformed both Virgo and, we'll say, the prince over there. Emperor and Queen of Cups. There's definitely an awareness that mastering one's emotions is kind of like the epitome of becoming, somebody of consequence in one's own life. And meeting somebody, falling for somebody who actually has mastered themselves and knows what they want, that's probably going to be the most stable kind of relationship out there, is, when we build a bond of like emotion and love, but also mastery of like, I know who I am. So you can trust that if I say I'm here for you and I love you, I really meant it, because I don't pay lip service to anybody. I do what's real because I know me. And so I think that what it's showing is that both characters have actually come to the same conclusion on one hand, which is, when we know ourselves, that's when we choose wisely on who to love, because we would not play around with our emotions nor anybody else's, because our time in our life is precious and important. I think Virgo's like, I'm so like sure now of, I want an emperor. That's the only kind of person I'm probably going to give my real cup of love to, because they got to know who they are, and then they'll be certain about what they want. I can be certain about them as well, because I know I'm in emperor mode. So that's the best kind of relationship to build, with somebody who knows who they are. And then the love story, you can feel confident about it. You don't have to worry that they're playing games, that they're pretending, because they know themselves. They wouldn't mess around and waste their time nor mine. And I think on their side, it's the same message, but a little bit different. They're realizing, not only was I not a king, but I haven't mastered myself, and I can't get the love of Virgo if I'm not the emperor. There's something here about, like, maybe they were cosplaying. Maybe they thought if enough people wanted them, they would feel powerful, and that would make them an emperor. And I'm wondering if they're realizing now that you have to become the emperor first, and then you can make good choices in love. All of this just looks like 10 of Sacred Circles. To really have a successful life, friendships, relationships, things that are authentic, really have to be authentic ourselves. No posing, no posturing. So what does that mean? So the Prince, what are you doing at this point? We know you still look at Virgo, you miss Virgo, you want Virgo, and you're actually in a superficial connection at the moment. We have the Star. Well, they do a lot of wishing for Virgo. It's far, far away from them. They have a lot of wishing that they could heal something with Virgo. The only thing is, okay, if they're thinking that maybe I can heal things with Virgo because I, wasn't truthful, or I messed about and I lost Virgo. Remember, the big message here is, it's not about healing something with Virgo. They need to fix whatever's going on in them that made them cosplay being a king. But they may be trying to rush into Virgo. They may try a couple of different attempts to talk to Virgo. Okay, what's the message over here for Virgo? Where's Virgo going? Because we saw Virgo in the energy of, Queen of Pentacles sideways. We have Virgo in the energy of, like, I feel really good. I feel really whole. And I feel like my mind is really open. I'm really free. Virgo is here saying, oh yeah, I have a lot to offer, but it doesn't mean I must go find somebody to be of service to, or find a romance, anything. We got the 9 of Wands in reverse. Virgo's just basking in the fact that they don't have any like wounds that they're still carrying. They're not really thinking about their past, nor necessarily their present at this moment. They're just in a state of maybe even like euphoria. Like, I think Virgo feels really whole, really comfortable at the moment. 3 of Cups. And there could be people in Virgo's life right now that Virgo is just enjoying the company of, enjoying, meeting, communicating with. There we go again with the robe thing. I don't know what the robe deal is. Maybe it's because, kings, queens, emperors, empresses, that the like a robe was kind of a sign of royalty at one point. But I'm wondering if Virgo's like, oh, I'm so enjoying the people that I've already cultivated relationships with. Doesn't even mean for love. I just think, I mean, there could be somebody in Virgo's general vicinity right now that is a really terrific person that Virgo would actually like to, bond with. Seven of Cups. There's definitely somebody that Virgo's like, I wonder if one of these people that's already in my day-to-day life, somebody that I might talk to, or somebody that I, share some kind of emotional like bond with. Maybe I haven't considered them as a potential romantic partner, but my mind is very open right now. So I kind of think Virgo could fall in love with somebody that would have not necessarily been on their radar, but they evaluate people differently. Who's an emperor? Who knows who they are? And that's where a relationship could originate from for this Virgo. I look for people who know who they are at the core. And, turns out there's somebody already in my life that kind of knows who they are. Maybe I should consider them. Wheel of Fortune. I think that Virgo, this was such a valuable lesson for Virgo too. I don't see Virgo reconnecting with that person of their past. Everything is in alignment for a new chapter to open. Let me just see what happens with that person of the past who is obviously going to be trying to reach out to Virgo possibly a couple different times. Well, we have the World card for them as well, but they may hover around the outside of Virgo's world. We see that. They may be spying or watching Virgo have a new beginning. And Virgo just might have to be one of those situations where they grew from this experience, but they seem to be on the outside of Virgo's world. I don't see them as getting back with Virgo. I think that there's somebody in Virgo's general vicinity that is a really terrific person that Virgo's never looked at as a potential dating material, but I think that they're about to. So very nice, message of growth and change for sure. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.